Mrs. Johnston here, and it is time for knowledge, science, and social studies. We are on Unit 8, Seasons and Weather, Lesson 2. What have we already learned? Different parts of the earth experience different types of weather. In most of the United States, there are 4 seasons, and that each season has distinct characteristics or qualities that describe them. The 4 seasons of the year in most of the United States is winter, spring, summer, and autumn. We're going to discuss what you learned about winter in the last read aloud. Winter is different from the other seasons. It is the coldest season, and in some areas of the United States, they have snow and ice in winter. During the first read aloud in this unit, you learned that some animals seek shelter from the cold in winter, much like people do. Many animals also hibernate or sleep during the winter season. The next read aloud, you are going to hear about the first season in the cycle of the seasons, which is winter. We are going to review back to our calendar. This is the calendar of December, and today is Monday, December 7th. The season of winter begins in the month of December, and it includes the months of January and February. In December, winter begins on December 21st. So we are still in the season of autumn. We have not yet started the season of winter. Who can tell me what are the 4 seasons? Did you respond back with the 4 seasons are winter, spring, summer, and autumn? What season is it now? Did you remember that it is still the season of autumn or fall? Today you will listen to a new letter from your pen pal Annie about the season of winter. The main topic or main idea of today's lesson is winter. Listen carefully so that you can identify characteristics of or ways to describe winter. Dear kindergartners, hi from your pen pal Annie. In my last letter, I told you about the 4 seasons that occur in many parts of the United States: winter, spring, summer, and autumn. Today, I'm going to tell you about winter. What kind of things do you think of when I say winter? Snowmen? Icicles? I'll tell you what I think of. Cold. Winter is the coldest season of the year in most of the United States. The shortest day of the year is on December 21st. It's called the shortest day of the year because it is the day with the least amount of daylight. It marks the beginning of winter. Winter also includes the months of January and February. It can get very cold in the winter in most of the United States. We can tell just how cold it is by using a tool called a thermometer. A thermometer measures temperature, which is a number we use to talk about how hot or cold it is. When it is hot outside, the liquid in the thermometer rises towards the top. When it is cold outside, the liquid in the thermometer stays down near the bottom. Another way that you can tell it is winter time is by the way people are dressed. What are the people in the picture wearing that helps them stay warm in the winter? Did you say some things like gloves, coat or jacket, snowsuit, snow pants, hat, scarf, boots? Winter clothing is made to protect you from the cold and to keep your body nice and warm while you spend time outside. Hats, mittens, and scarves help you stay warm in the winter. It is usually cold during the winter where I live in Washington, D.C. Sometime it even gets cold enough to snow. I wish it would snow every day, but the temperature must fall below freezing, below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, in order for it to snow. If the air between the clouds and the ground is below the freezing point, then instead of rain, snowflakes will probably fall. Remember, the freezing point is the temperature at which a liquid turns into a solid or rain turns into snow and ice. Some years, Washington, D.C. gets heavy snowstorms known as blizzards that bring city traffic to a halt or to a stop and force the schools to close. Blizzards are storms with lots of snow and lots of wind. They make it difficult for people to walk and drive. There are other years when it only snows once or twice. This means that some winters are colder and snowier than others in Washington, D.C. What is it like during the winter where you live? Does it ever snow? Did you say that where you live it snows a lot in Cadillac or in the state of Michigan, and that it is cold most of the time in the winter? When it snows, everyone works together to clear the snow. People use snow shovels to shovel snow off walkways so that others do not slip and get hurt. In many places where it snows, snowplows get to work clearing the streets. The big plow on the front of the truck scrapes the snow and ice from the streets. These trucks also carry salt or other chemicals, which they spread on the roads as they pass. Have you ever seen a truck like this before? Did you say yes? In Michigan, we see this truck a lot in the winter. The salt and chemicals melt the remaining ice and keep new ice from forming, which makes the roads safer for people to drive their cars. People should always drive and walk slowly and cautiously or carefully in the snow. Snow and ice are slippery, and whether you are walking or driving, you should use extra caution when the ground is covered with snow or ice. I always cheer up when it starts to snow because I love to play in the snow. I like to build snowmen and have snowball fights with my friends. Another way to have fun in the snow is to go sledding. After a big snow, all you need is a nice, steep hill, warm clothes, and something to ride on to go sledding. After playing or working outside in the winter, it is always nice to come back inside to get warm again. Some homes have fireplaces where people light logs on fire to help warm the house. I love reading a good book in the warm fire. And I love reading a good book by the warm fire. In places where it stays really cold in the winter, people also use gas furnaces and electric heaters to help keep the air inside their homes nice and warm. Of course, having a few extra blankets on the bed is always a good idea on those frigid or very cold winter nights. Winter is also a time when some people from different religions celebrate holidays. Christmas, a Christian holiday, comes on December 25th. Hanukkah, a Jewish holiday, also falls around this time, as does Kwanzaa, a week-long holiday celebrated by some African Americans. What winter holidays does your family celebrate? Mrs. Johnston's family celebrates Christmas. To celebrate these and other holidays in wintertime, sometimes people string colorful lights around their homes and neighborhoods. You should see Washington, D.C. during the holiday season. All of the lights make it a magical place. Another important winter holiday falls on December 31st, which is the last day of the year. This day is called New Year's Eve. January 1st, the day after December 31st, marks the beginning of a new year. January 1st is called New Year's Day. On New Year's Day, many people make resolutions or lists of things they would like to do better in the new year. Luck and good fortune are common themes for the Lunar New Year, also known as the Chinese New Year, which is a holiday that falls around the end of January and beginning of February. The color red, thought to be a sign of good fortune and happiness, is the color chosen to wear during the festivities. Homes are decorated with red paper cut into designs, and happy wishes written on red paper are also hung throughout the house. Children often receive red envelopes with money tucked inside. The people who receive these envelopes are also supposed to receive good fortune in the new year. Feastings on fish, pork, poultry, tangerines, oranges, dumplings, and special cakes. Families gather to wish each other good luck. There are so many fun things to do during the winter. What's your favorite part of winter? Mrs. Johnston's favorite part of winter is sitting next to the fire reading a good book. Your friend, Annie. When it is cold outside, is the liquid in the thermometer close to the top or close to the bottom? Did you respond and say, when it is cold outside, the liquid in the thermometer is close to the bottom? What are some of the characteristics of winter? Did you say some characteristics of winter are that it is very cold and it can snow? How do you dress for winter? Did you say during winter I wear a hat, a coat, a scarf, snow pants, boots, mittens? What happens to rain when the temperature drops below the freezing point? Did you remember and respond that when the temperature drops below the freezing point, rain may turn into snow or ice? I hope you enjoyed lesson 2 and learning more about the season of winter that starts the life cycle or the cycle of the seasons.